Hello, it's Margo Tripsa. I will talk about the one-hour workshop I delivered at Vision International School, Qatar. It was titled Showcasing Learning via Multimedia for Student-Led Conferences. This is the website I developed for the workshop, and these are the tabs that the website has in order to provide the teachers with all the resources they need. Under the homepage, it just talks about the workshop and its audience. Under handouts, I provided the teachers with digital copies of some of the handouts they received during the workshop. So the first one is a timeline for the student-led conferences. The second handout the teachers received was one that talked about a taxonomy of reflection in order to help the students ask good metacognitive questions to help them reflect on their learning throughout the year. Other handouts were linked here. One of them is a cheat sheet for the students, and then parent questions during the conference. These are just some questions that the parents could ask the students in order to help them during the conference in case they don't know exactly how to present their learning or they face some challenges. There's also a parent questionnaire and a student questionnaire that they would fill out at the end of the student-led conference. And there are also some samples. This one is the cheat sheet. This was very useful. It really empowered the students to lead the conference. Another handout is this one that has some questions that the parents can ask their children. Another one is the questionnaire for the parents, and I will show you also a reflection paper. Back to the website, I also provided the teachers with this handout. This handout had QR codes. When the teachers would scan these codes, they could see multimedia created by students in order to showcase their learning. So some of them are elementary students, some of them are even younger students, like this one. A variety of multimedia they could use in order to help the students showcase their learning, not only through paper projects. Because at my school, the students don't have online portfolios yet, but I wanted to empower the teachers to add to their portfolios at least one multimedia element this year. And hopefully soon, maybe next year or in 2 years, they will be able to have the students build digital portfolios. And the final worksheet I provided the teachers with is this one. It's just step-by-step directions regarding what they need to do to install Screencastify. It's a Google Chrome extension and also QR code extension for Chrome. I will use the rubric to talk about my workshop. So the first element on the rubric was the handouts. So I showed you already the handouts I created. The second element is the online instructional component. So the rubric says that the online component needs to support the learning objectives of the lesson, and it needs to be easy to use and well developed, and it both recaps and extends participant learning, and it should also align with the lesson plan. So the online component actually is this website that hosts all the resources. Also has a tab that takes the teachers to the lesson plan. It has the standards and the objectives listed. One of the most important tabs is also the extension resources. Under extension resources, I shared with the teachers 2 tutorials that explain into more detail how they can use QR codes in the classroom to help the students showcase their learning. And also, in case they miss the workshop, and it can be also used as a recap for the teachers who want to see some of the things I talked about during the workshop. They can just watch this tutorial that is actually a summary of the workshop. The rubric also asks for 2 or more additional elements, like a YouTube video link, an instructional agenda, maybe promotional flyers. I'll go back to the workshop, and the agenda is listed here, and also it has the presentation. The flyers are listed under the Home tab. These are the 2 flyers I designed for the workshop. And I also provided the teachers with links to some external resources about student-led conferences. So they can watch student-led conferences in action by accessing this link. The next aspect on the rubric is the workshop evaluation instrument. The questions are supposed to address 3 GUSKIS levels of evaluation. I had a pre-workshop survey, and this was very important because it helped me design the workshop according to the teacher's needs. These are the responses that I got. The evaluation instrument, the workshop survey, is here. It had 8 questions for the teacher. And going back to the rubric, the last part talks about workshop evaluation and data narrative. I was supposed to provide the table of results, and also I was supposed to write a 1 or 2 paragraph narrative describing the data and also the follow-up plans. There's a tab that includes all these requirements. Here is where I reflected on the workshop and I listed the follow-up plans. It also includes the responses. Most of the teachers thought the workshop was very useful and that they learned new things, and they agreed that the presenter was well prepared. And they also indicated what kind of help they needed. Thank you.